Hello, Brenda over here at B.laster Works, and today I'm coming to you live. Well, not live because you're going to watch this later, but from the Asylum, okay, for the Creatively Insane. And we are here today because our other person or patient, let's say, our other patient, Vera from Spilled Copy Crafts, has lit a fire under my little butt because she posted a video where she made an ID card, and she was making it in reference to my Playday where, let's see, where we made our little file. Remember, we made a little file. It was on the wall next to our door. So I made a file, and I had just tucked in some of the other stuff, our ink blots. And this is just ephemera. Made a little like clipboard. Have our little key to the room, all that kind of stuff. So she was working on this, and she decided to add like an ID card into her file. Well, the ID card, or visitor pass, let's call it, could be both, was already on my agenda to do since last year, in May, when Michelle had sent me her visitor pass from when she was going to visit her father in the hospital. And so she said, hey, this will be a good idea to do for the asylum. And I was like, that is a great idea. Yes, we need to do it. And as you see, procrastination, one thing after another, it got put on the back burner, and totally spaced out on it. I'll be honest. I knew it was there, but I just forgot about it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh yeah, I gotta do that, and just kept putting it off. So here we are.
One eternity later.
And Vera lights a fire under our butt because she made her ID card. And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's kind of do it now so that it kind of coincides with Vera. And then I know our other friend and patient in the asylum, Sonya, is going to also do her ID card. And we're going to probably upload our videos at the same time. So you have a couple that you can watch, and I'll also link her video to her Playday down below, along with Vera's. Again, I know I already did Vera's, but since this is like the ID card version, I'll link hers again down below also. Okay, so oh, and Sonya's YouTube is Artsy Solutions, so you'll see that down there. All right, so today this morning, as before I go to work, I'm just doing the introduction to the video, so that you guys know what I think I'm going to do. Oh, isn't that lovely? This was Michelle's idea too. Michelle is like a huge behind the scenes collaborator with myself. She comes up with some pretty cool ideas, and then I'll do them, and like this was her idea. So full credit to whoever gets the credit, right? And then so mine, I think I'm going to do something similar to this, because I'm thinking it's going to be our tag or pass, like when we're going to another like building or whatever. So like I'm in building B, right? Building B, suite suite number 3. That's me. All right, so so then we have to have all that information on our little tags so that they know where we're coming from, and we're just walking all over the campus here and visiting each other, right? Because there's so many facets in the asylum. This is not your typical asylum. Sonya has a wing, Lisa is out there, Anna, Michelle, they all are doing their own thing, even though they may not have a YouTube channel, but they are in the asylum. And so, we need our little passes to go visit each other freely and know that we're not getting into trouble. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do now, Michelle was so kind to send me some extra little, like these are sticky, so they stick, but I don't think I'm going to use these that way. I think I'm going to put something on the back so that they don't stick, or maybe clean it off. I don't know yet, but I'm going to make mine. I was thinking first making it a lanyard, but not have like the whole thing up, because that'd just be too much. But you can do that. You can make a lanyard, so you can put like ribbon coming up, like just a little loop maybe. It could be a, just to make it look like it is a lanyard, but really it's not going to fit around your neck. But you could do a lanyard. I think I am going to do, I was thinking of doing like a clip. You know how they have the some where it clips on, but this way I could clip it on any page in my journal. So I would just need to, I'll probably put this on a larger piece of paper, just slightly larger, not way larger, and tougher, because this is kind of thin and like a card stock. I'll put it on card stock, and then I will put a whole, like attach this to it with, what do you call it? You guys know what I'm talking about. I can't, eyelet. Yeah, with an eyelet, like that. And then that way I can clip it. Also, I'll be able to turn it, and then I'll just clip it onto a page, possibly. I might do that, or I might just do a hidden paper clip and just put a paper clip on the back, and then that way I can stick it wherever I want to. So yeah, so those are my ideas. That's the direction I'm going to go. So it's either going to have a hidden paper clip, or I'm going to use this as my clip, and then it clips onto our pocket or our apron, when we're walking around the asylum. So the design I haven't figured out yet. If I'm even gonna use this, I might use this. Just have my picture up here, and then like building B, unit 3 or suite 3, let's say, like my number for my room, and then just some information down here, I don't know. If you check out Vera's ID card, it's pretty cool. I just don't know how I'm going to set mine up yet on my visitor pass. Or my hall pass. Let's call it a hall pass. Yeah, so that's what we're doing today. And then also, if you don't have something like this for your ID card, you can always laminate it with packing tape, right? You could use, which is also an idea I may use if I don't use this, you can cover your whole ID card with clear embossing powder, heat that up, and then you'll have like a shiny little card, right? So there's all kinds of directions you can go if you don't have the same supplies that I have, or Sonya has, or Vera has. Okay, so, but this is my inspiration. I may use this. This is also my inspiration. And Vera's video is also my inspiration. So I'm going to move on from there. Right now, this is just my introduction. And the rest I'll probably just be doing and then do a voiceover. Okay. See you in a bit. I got to go to work. Ooh. All right, you guys. I haven't left for work yet, by the way. I've been over here going through some of my stash, and I came across, actually, let me keep that over here. I came across a couple things that I think I'm going to use, and kind of changed my original direction a little, not much. But I have these like it's the library card, things that were inside some of the books. This was actually like a whole like a log thing, and I just have the cover. But I'm thinking I am going to use this for the inside cover. I'm going to use this because it says art, and it says art journal illustration catalog. I don't know what this was in. I'm going to cover this part up. You know what? I think it was in the Twilight Zone book that I had got. I think that this was on the inside of that. So I believe these two go together, but I'm not positive. But I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to put something here that says like visitor check-in, right? So this is people that are coming to visit me. And then I'm just going to leave this in here because it already has like dates and names on it. So these could be my visitors. I'm going to keep this Twilight Zone for obvious reasons, but I'll also, maybe I'll just put visitor check-in or sign in, something like that. And then I believe I'm going to erase, some of this is in pencil. I'm going to erase some of these names, put Scrappy 8 names in there, or anyone else who wants to visit me in the asylum. So I have plenty of room here where I can erase names. Like Mike will have to stay because he wrote in ink. But some of these I'm going to erase and replace the names with my peeps. All right. So that's all I'm going to do with that. And then I'll glue that here. on the cover. And then I'm thinking for my hall pass or my visitor pass, I am going to use this. Oh no, you know what? Maybe I'll just use this and save that for another project. Or maybe I can just put the pocket itself here and it'll hold my visitor pass. But I think I'll use this. I won't use this side. Let's see how it says issue 2. Like I'll put my name here and then put my picture here and then whatever mumbo jumbo I can come up with on the other lines, you know, just random stuff that's not really, but just to make it look like an ID card or a visitor pass. So yeah, so then that would be that. That's not going to fit in here. So I may, I don't know yet. I may, because I'm not sure if I'm still going to do this part. Kind of don't want to, I want to kind of keep the integrity of this. Doesn't have a date though. Does this have a date? No, but it looks pretty old though. So maybe I'll just do the paper clip on the back of this and then do the embossing powder on the front to make it shiny. But again, I'm not sure yet. Or maybe I'll just make or find a, a larger piece to put it in, because I'm pretty sure I still have to go through my stuff. I'm pretty sure I have a lanyard. What do you call it? The plastics from lanyards. I'm pretty sure Kristen sent me one. And I think I already had one too. But I don't know where they are, so I got to find them. So either way, I think this will be my ID card, ID pass. This I'm going to put on the inside cover as people are visiting me. And then I'll just clip it. This will just be clipped to here, or maybe even tucked into here. But we'll see. That's my new direction. All right. So now I'll get ready to go to work. Okay. See y'all in a bit. All right. So this is after work, and I've decided to work on the visitor sign-in card or sheet. So I am just erasing all the pencil names off of there. And this, the first date on here is like 1978, so it's a very old index card. But okay, so now I'm just distressing the pockets, and I'm going to distress the card also at the same time. Now I keep going back and forth on my ID card visitor pass because I'm not sure yet which direction I'm going. I'm still on the fence about it. So in the meantime, I will cover up that piece on the pocket, and I'm just using some old rust-dyed paper that I have and just cutting it down or tearing it down to size, and then I'll just glue that on there. And then also I take the card here, I'm showing you, I took it to my typewriter and I just typed that visitor sign in along the top. It was kind of too close to the top, but you know, what can I do? I'm not the best typist. And then now I'm just using my stick glue to glue that down, and then I'll start decorating the pocket with some stamps and whatnot. So now I'm just using a stencil to add some stains that are a little bit less obvious. Okay, and now I'm just going to glue it in, or glue it onto the back of the cover, just using the glitter glue. And if you hear noises in the background, it's a hubby cooking dinner, so you might hear some clanking and banging. Now to work on my ID card, and I printed out on my mini printer, which prints out on sticker paper, the image that I want to use in different sizes. And I think I'll go with the largest one, rounding off the edges, or the corners I should say, and just trying to figure out how I want to do this ID card visitor pass thing. Okay, so I found my one site lanyard, and I'm just going to use the clasp from that. So I took it off, and then I'm putting on just so I can get an idea of what it's going to look like. Still on the fence on how I'm going to do this. As you'll see, I changed my mind again later. But I decide, okay, well, if I'm gonna use that pocket, then I need to cut this paper down. So that's what I'm gonna do next. Still trying to figure it out. And I think I'll just go eat my tacos that hubby made and continue in the morning. It's morning, and guess what? I changed my mind overnight. I woke up with a new idea, and I'm going to, I like the size of that pocket while it's on the paper, like the bigger size. So I decided to use one of my master boards that I also have in my Asylum box, scrap box, that I have set aside just for the Asylum journal. So that's going to be the backing. And then I'm going to put the beige-ish, oldish paper over there, this one, on top. So I'm pretty much following the direction that Vera also took. And then using the one site tag, I'm going to use that as a template to cut out my hole for the lanyard clasp. So I stuck my picture down, so it's on the ID now. And now I'm just going to stamp some decoration and words and numbers and all that to try to make it look somewhat like a ID/visitor pass. And I'm using permanent ink. Even on the orangey part, I was going to use distress, but then I realized because I'm going to go over it with a crackle glaze, I didn't want the colors to bleed. So I'm just using all permanent ink for the stamping. And I do forget to put my room number, the B3, on there during this video, but I do go later and add it to the top right corner. And you'll see that at the very end when I show you the pictures of the end product. Now here I'm putting a towel underneath because this particular stamp doesn't work very well. So even then it still didn't stamp that great, but that's okay. And here I'm using a terracotta permanent ink just to give it a little bit of color. Write some mumbo jumbo. And then I'm also going to stamp the word visitor with the terracotta at the very bottom. And then next up, I'm just deciding which strap to use for my lanyard part. And I think I'm going to do this yellow one because it's a little bit wider. And I'm thinking of using an eyelet to adhere it to the page. And that white one is just a little bit too thin. But before I do that, I am going to, here I'm just seeing size, like how far down I'm going to have it hanging. But before I do the strap part, I need to add some embossing powder or the glaze to it first. So I was going to use that thicker textured embossing powder, but I do it on a scrap piece of paper first just to see if I like how it looks. So here I'm just doing like a sample just to test it out on the scrap piece of paper. It's actually not bad at all, but I think I'm going to start with the crackle glaze first, and then figure it out after that. So I just put on some crackle glaze, and then I'm going to let it air dry. I'm not going to use the heat gun on it, and I'm going to go to the grocery store, and then when I come back, I will finish this up. So I'm back, and first things first is I have to replace the picture. You see it kind of like messed it up a little bit. I mean, it's not horrible, but kind of made it turn blue. And then look what it did to the side. It lifted up the paper, kind of made it curl a little bit, but I actually kind of like it. So I'm just going to work with that. So now I decided to emboss the rest of the where there's no glaze. So I'm just using an embossing pen to make it wet, and then I went with the fine emboss powder instead of the thicker one, since the glaze was already pretty textured. I just want a little bit of shine on some of the other areas. Okay, and then after this, I'm going to add a little bit of glitter glue into those crevices around the edges. I don't want to make it flat, but I also don't want it to peel up too much. So I'm just kind of keeping some of that peeled up, but not have it be too much. So that's all I'm doing here. Now it's time to add the strap, and I'm just trying to figure out how I want this to look, because it's not going to be a loop. I'm just going to have like a ribbon, like two pieces sticking up towards the top that are going to represent a strap. And like I said, I'm going to use the eyelet. So just trying to figure it out, see what's on the other side so I don't mess up the back side of this page either. Okay, now I want to get some of that white out of the crevices, and I start with alcohol ink, but then I realize it could bleed. See that little, I don't know if you can see the little dot right there, so it kind of bleeds through. So then I'm like, okay, maybe not, and it's a little bit darker than I wanted also. So I decide to use just the permanent ink, and then later I get a skinny brush to try to get into the cracks a little bit better. So here I use like a little skinny makeup brush. Sorry, I'm off camera there. But, so I'm just getting in the cracks with the ink. Like it. Looks pretty cool. And then I wanted to add this somewhere. This is from Michelle. Um, but it's going to go in this journal. I just don't know where yet. Um, and then here I start writing down my visitors that signed in. Um, so that's what I'm doing now. Trying to use different colored ink pens, you know, for variety here. And now I decide to make a label using my label maker. And I only make it for that reason, because I have a label maker and I never use it. So I decided, all right, let's make a label for the visitor sign-in pocket. So that's exactly what I did. And I think this wraps it up, folks. Thanks for joining me today in the Asylum for the Creatively Insane. It felt good to get back into this journal again. And I hope to see you guys work in your journals and post either on Instagram, or if you have YouTube, tag me so I know and I can watch. Also, stay till the end of this video, because I do have some pictures, and I did include some pictures from Michelle, who did hers. Hers is more of a sentimental creation, because she did use visitor cards and stuff from the time last year when her father was in the hospital. So stay tuned for that, and you'll see some pics, and I'll also list her Instagram down below. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I look forward, like I said, to seeing what you guys create. And hopefully we'll get back into this Asylum journal soon so we can finish up our self-portraits. All right? Okay. I'll see y'all later. Just